6'2".
Oh, really? I actually didn't know that.
Gallo's a monster.
Hell yeah.
That's my dad.
Gallo's sick.
Yeah, and Gallo's actually playing DVD on the other stream.
Yeah.
I think they're just doing friendlies.
He's been winning all of them from what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
I know DVD's a bit out of practice, but Gallo's just a legend. Also.
Gallo has some qualms about so many Game & Watches in the bracket. He's openly said he's worked on the matchup a ton. He at the Nebs like 2 weeks ago, he played against a Game & Watch with DK, lost the first two, and then reverse 3-0'd him with his Mario.
Really?
So he's starting to pick up the confidence against that matchup, and I know that might be his only fear, but he feels like he can still beat everyone in the bracket. So he just knows that you got to go in there with like a lot of respect for the matchup, and now he's just chilling with DVD.
For sure, Game & Watch is a scary character.
Talking about that because we don't have much to talk about here. If you don't know the players, well, then you don't really watch PM too often. That's fine. That's fine. Welcome. Switch and Malachi, both New York, New Jersey. Number 1, number 2 in the PR. Switch has probably been on one of the better, if not the best runs outside of Thunders to start the year.
Yep.
Switch is currently leading the circuit by, I think, 8 points because of outer region kickers. And Thunders is also at this tournament. So it'll definitely skew it, or who knows, maybe they finish really close to each other. Maybe that's the grand finals.
Yeah, with the way the bracket turned out, you never know where a lot of these people are going to place. So
this is real. It's real.
We're going in.
It's always real.
Hell yeah. We're going in.
I told Switch before this matchup that if he just sat there and did nothing but laser camp for 8 minutes and he won, I would still be very happy for him.
Yeah.
And he said I would kill myself. He goes, unless I'm playing Malachi. Because he knows that it's too difficult for him to get in on Malachi without the lasers.
Yep.
Malachi is extremely, extremely good at just kind of everything. He doesn't really let you play the game. His edge guard is pretty much unmatched with both of his characters, Peach and Sheik. And then he's just a very oppressive type of player. Like when he gets on you, you really don't feel like you can make the right decision. The last time they squared off, though, which was a while ago, Switch did 3-0.
At Nebs, right?
I believe it was at Philly.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how much has changed since then. I know it wasn't too long ago, but in this game, even a month and a half can sometimes feel like an eternity.
Yeah. Especially, this summer especially, where there's events every weekend, right?
This summer is absolutely insane.
It's stacked.
Smash Delphia was last week, which was great.
Yeah.
Now you have, there's 2 events going on this weekend, and then next weekend I think is Nemesis.
I think so.
I hope I'm correct on that. Twitch having trouble closing out the last stock. Finally gets with the up smash on platform. And then you have Supernova at the end of the month, which is going to be hype as hell.
Yeah, that'll be dope. Coming out to that. So we see right now, Malachi just playing at a space where he's making the lasers actually feel pretty ineffective. He's floating above it where it's really hard for Switch to go challenge him. And then he's finding an opening off of that, which is impressive enough. Lasers are really hard to navigate around.
You can see Switch he's trying to double jump a lot. He's trying to find a way to kind of get in there. And Malachi's reaction time is incredible. He's just sniffing everything out.
He understands that he can't just follow behind the lasers, so he's trying to find another way in. But Malachi's using float really effectively to punish Switch moving above the lasers. Got him pinned in a corner, and he gets out.
Super smart by Switch there. He uses momentum from the laser to get away from that down air, but his dash dancing has kind of been it's hard because you're not dash dancing in a traditional sense. The person's just floating above you, and it does make it a little bit more difficult to figure out when your optimal time to gotta come in there when a move is. Nice double laser top smash.
Very good, yeah. Very good confirm.
We're gonna need some real, a little bit of luck and a little bit of just craziness in order for Switch to bring this one back at 104.
Yeah. This is tough. I'd be edge guard. Oh, he missed the bair. That was a good angle.
That was a great. Yeah, that was super smart of him.
Malachi just covered the instant go to ledge.
I feel like that's one of the big things too when you're trying to transition from being like an okay player to like a mid-level player.
Yeah.
It's just like taking a recovery that seems so linear in terms of like you really only got how many options with it, and then just using fade back and fade in and all these other things to kind of mix it up.
Absolutely. I mean, Wolf's recovery is very good, right? The length it covers rivals even Fox. It's not exactly the same, right? But the options he has and the angles he can take are still very good, and Switch does a very good job of finding his way back. Delfino's game 2. I don't think I've ever seen them play on Delfino's. It feels like they play mostly on PS2.
Yeah, usually, I know for a while they were kind of doing a trend of we're going to pick a neutral stage and just play it until we're done playing.
Gotcha.
If anyone remembers, there was like what felt like 3 weeks straight of just Smashvilles.
Yeah.
And then they moved on to PS2, and then they moved on to Battlefield. So like they went through this craziness where they were both just maxing out the matchup on like every possible neutral stage.
Excellent.
And Malachi, they're only taking 14% of that first stock.
He's really maximizing his punishes. He's getting so much out of an opening compared to Switch right now. Especially when he keeps getting grabs. Really tough. Oh.
And that's got to be
situation. What's he got? Back air? He didn't hit the ground. All right. Good up angle. He covered he avoided the back air.
Yeah, rare missed edge guard opportunity by Malachi. Yeah. And if you're a Switch, you got to be a little frustrated too. You picked a stage, you hope you have a lot more room, and you still end up getting chain grabbed a couple of times.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 into basically an edge guard situation. Switch could have lost that stock really easily.
For sure, yeah. I mean, it's definitely frustrating because he still ended up getting like opened up, and the stock still ended up getting finished very quickly. With a stage like this, you want to use the rotation of the platforms to potentially get out of situations, but the punishes are still consistent and still long.
That's a few power shields already for Malachi in the first 2 games. And down air is just taking out all the lasers, man.
That is such a good height to float at if the down air can beat the lasers. What is Wolf going to do after that?
Because you're forcing Switch into a bad situation. Because like the only way he can laser you would be the double jump, which would be idiotic.
Yes.
And he can't really come at you with an aerial because he'll just trade.
Yeah. Just getting aired.
I like that change of pace though. He tried to crouch cancel it, but Malachi was just ready for it.
It's unfortunate because he was at 90% when he tried to crouch cancel.
Yeah. And that's the double-edged sword with Delfino's. They're going to live a while the same way you are.
But this is one of the big weaknesses of Peach, coming down. Character is so floaty, especially when she has to use Umbrella. If you're a fast character like a Spacey, a lot of the times you can just go up and cover what she's doing.
And there's a really cool vibe in the venue too, because normally day 2, start of the day 2, a lot of people aren't really paying attention to singles too much. They're kind of getting their friendlies and money matches in before like top 8 comes around or top 16. But there's a lot of people with their heads turned looking at the projector because it's like they're playing now, like this second. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it just does feel like that late in the bracket with these two playing right now.
It's awkward. This is Thunders and Malachi finding himself in these situations pretty often now.
Yeah. And brackets can be so inconsistent. Single upset led to this happening right now. Back here. Oh, he drops it. So the one thing about Malachi so far is his edge guarding really hasn't been super clean.
What an option. Just straight up.
Switch keeps getting back, which is unfortunate because he still can't find openings after managing to recover. And that's it.
Switch's losers run begins now.
I know.